Let's talk about this. Freda Wallace is host of Gender Nebulous, a podcast. Not something I've heard or listened to, have you? I wish I had now. Yeah. Freda, good evening.
Good evening, James.
I think we've spoken before, haven't we?
We have spoken before, yeah, because I've rung you quite a few times.
Yeah, you annoy me usually, but listen, as I'm feeling in such a good mood tonight, Freda, tell me why these people, a minority in the country, are so violent and so annoyed with everything. It seems to me everything.
I'm not sure who's violent, James. You'd have to point to me to an individual.
Well, I'm sure you've seen some of the clips of some of them fighting on the social media platforms, but generally they seem to be very upset, hanging around outside J.K. Rowling's. Yep, they've attacked varying people.
I've not seen anybody hanging around J.K. Rowling's mansion. Actually, I don't know where you got that from.
Well, Kelly J. Keane, that was the latest, wasn't it? That was in the media a lot. That she.
Well, let's talk about Kelly J. Keane. She's somebody that this TV station has platformed quite a lot and quite uncritically.
Well, when she's on,
hang on, let Freda speak.
Yeah, because Freda. Yes, but the point is, she's allowed to speak, but nobody's allowed. She's never challenged. She's allowed to speak from a.
What should she be challenged about, Freda?
You should be challenged about the message she's actually sending.
And what is the message she's sending, Freda?
Well, first of all, it's duplicitous because she's saying, let women speak, I'm standing for women, but she doesn't actually do anything for women. The whole message is about trans exclusion. She tries... I mean, I've spoken to you about this before.
And we fall out regularly. I'm trying not to do that today because, quite frankly...
No, you don't have to fall out with me. You just have to stay factual.
I'll do what I want. Thank you very much indeed, Freda. It's my show. If you want a show, get your own. Are you smoking?
I'm vaping.
Well, don't vape on the show. I don't approve of it, okay? And if you don't like that, tough. So anyway, back to the point. So what is the problem? You know, you can be whatever you want. But it wasn't until people in your position started shouting their mouths off that we got to this situation. So why? What is the problem you have with the rest of us?
It's not a problem I have with anybody. It's like I live my life how most of my days, in my day-to-day life, I don't have a problem. Nobody has a problem with me. I don't have a problem with them. This is simply, it's kind of a social media battle that people get themselves into. And a lot of it's performative. It's performative.
Could I just stop you because we don't have a lot of time when you're waffling. So what is it? No, don't disagree with me because then you'll get your point out if you do. What is it? You can't do it without vaping, can you, though? You know, problems everywhere. What is it that people who criticise something about a bloke who wants to go dressed as a woman into a man's toilet...
Do you think that's likely?
I don't know. I've never seen it myself.
Do you think that's a likely scenario?
I've no idea. Why do so many people get upset about it? Why would you want your child to grow up being called a...
They.
Yeah.
They be.
Well, that's not happening. That's just something that...
So you don't agree with having to use these ridiculously stupid pronouns?
If somebody gets to a certain age and they say, I don't actually identify with either gender, that's up to them.
Well, what age should that be? That's important, isn't it? What age should you...
But it's to do with the parents and that child. It's got nothing to do with anybody else.
Well, what about teachers not even telling parents?
Well, if you're a teacher, imagine you're a teacher and a child you can see is getting distressed and they say to you, I am identifying as a different gender, but please don't tell my parents.
But then why are they putting their other sex name on the report card so the parents do find out then?
Well, the thing is, we know that a lot of parents will shame their children for being gay.
You don't know that at all. You have no idea.
We do that.
It might be some people are bad parents, but you don't know that at all.
Okay, James, imagine this scenario. You have a parent of a child that watches Julia Hartley-Brewer every morning and believes everything she says. That child is going to be traumatised.
It's a very good show.
It's a very good show. And Julia speaks a lot of sense. And maybe...
Well, Julia's frightened to death of me because she won't let me talk to her. And I was supposed to go on her show and
you talk a lot of rubbish. Probably that's why she doesn't actually. You've not answered one of my questions. What is it the trans community are so angry about? What is it?
I think what it might be is the constant media negativity. So, like, whenever there's a story in the news, like there was recently, there was a school shooting, the killer happened to be trans. So the headline is trans killer.
Yeah.
So what message does that send?
But it could have been woman killer or man killer. But you guys want to be known as trans, don't you?
No, but the point
Why do you want to be known as trans anyway?
I don't want to be... Trans is not an identity. It's just a delineation. You are cis, I am trans.
So, I mean,
But
what is it? Presumably trans is somebody between operations, aren't they?
No, it's the transitional period between, like, say, I started a transition from male to female. It's as simple as that.
But no, you're still trans after as well, aren't you? You're trans.
But what I'm saying is trans
no.
isn't actually an identity, and my identity is Freda female. That is an identity.
Can we? We've got so many people calling in. Can we? Perhaps we take a couple of
let's
callers?
talk to some callers.
Dorothy, you're on the air. Hello, through to Freda.
How are you? No, I'm just listening to all this bullshit. Now, think about it as this. If somebody commits a crime and they have to go to a jail, okay, there are stripped their clothes and they are identified immediately and they have a birth certificate and they have everything connected to them that's going to assess their gender and it's male. They cannot go into a female prison and they will be torn asunder because most of those women... Now, can I just explain myself here? Now, I'm a trained counsellor now, and one of my colleagues goes into a jail, and there are women in there that have been coerced, forced, and persecuted by men. And they have been in there for years and years and years because of some man. And
all right, I think we get the idea, Dorothy, don't we? From County.
Please stop. No, please stop.
Don't you dare tell me what to do. Goodbye. We get the point, Dorothy. Let's get Freda to answer. Honestly, huh?
I'm not sure quite what she was saying. Was she
I think she was basically going from was she from County Clare?
Was she talking about trans women in prisons?
Yeah, going into the wrong prison and then behaving appallingly. But, you know, that is going to happen. It shouldn't be.
Well, no, it's not going to happen, though.
If you've got your genitals, then you go into a man's prison.
Mm.
Well, not necessarily. No, but you can still have genitals and be of transition, can't you?
I think the problem here is that, you know, we it's a very simplified version of what is seen as a threat. So, obviously, if you're dealing with the recent case of Hyla Bryson, it was sent to, you know, the Scottish. So I think in that situation, because of safeguarding, whatever the situation is, that the prison system has to deal with that. But you see, these stories that come into the media, they exist. I mean,
but you're not telling me the question that I'm trying to get an answer to is, you know, and
you're not letting.
I beg your pardon?
You're not letting me finish what I'm trying to say.
Listen,
James.
I have to guide this. You have no idea what we are as far as time restriction. And now I've had to say that again. That's cut less time off. And you went on about Julia. Julia probably doesn't want you as a guest on her show. That's entirely up to her.
She's frightened of me.
No, she's not frightened of you. You're too stupid for her to be frightened of. Don't be ridiculous. And you're not answering any of the questions. You're waffling on. All you really want is to be a media celebrity. I know exactly what you want.
Yeah, of course I do, yeah. That'd be brilliant, yeah. But I want to be like Sue Pollard. Of course I do, because I'm a normal person.
You're not, no. Well, if you're going to be a normal person, you won't be able to go on the air.
You can't be like Sue Pollard if you're a normal person.
Yeah,
I suppose.
That's a very good point. I'm trying very hard to get... Could you pick me thing up? Thanks. I'm trying very hard to get to the point of why certain sections of the trans society are so cross and angry about everything. And you've got a whole minute to answer it.
We're not a trans society. We're not like a club where we all meet and we decide to be angry at something. This is people. It isn't like that. We're not a movement like that. And what we're angry at, as if you could say we're a community, is the constant negativity in the media. And this TV station is a source of disinformation all the time. So what I was going to say about...
This TV station is not a source of disinformation.
It is.
I suggest...
You're using trans issues as political leverage.
That what you do... you're talking bollocks, to be quite honest. And I suggest that what you do is don't bother to appear on here. Goodbye. Thank you, Freda. She won't be coming back on again. Don't watch it, Freda, if you don't like us. I'm getting sick and tired of this. We are trying, I was trying, you were trying, to actually get a point out which you don't seem to be able to answer. All you want to do is fudge everything. All you want
Too
to
fluffy.
do...
Yeah.
Too what?
She was too fluffy.
Yeah.
No, just get to the point. Tell us what
You know, she's got a flipping podcast she wanted to promote. Well, that's not getting promoted. And then she moans about some of our colleagues.
It's too wordy. That's the
Yeah.
trouble with all it. Too wordy. You tell us what's going on.
I tell you what, let's close down every television channel and radio station that could upset people.
Yeah.
I warn people not to watch this programme. I've been doing this for 50 years. To tell her to stop.
Okay, right. Do you know the gender situation? Do you know that Freda before was Freda? That's a man, isn't it?
I presume so. Somebody who's transitioning, yes, why?
Okay, so it's a man. The thing is, only a woman, most women, are capable of having a baby. Man can never do that. Never, ever do that.
Yeah, we know that. What is the point you're trying to make, Paul?
Freda was that, it's Freda itself.
But, Paul, what are you trying to say?
Well, the gender situation, I agree with it. It's totally wrong.
Freda identifies as a woman, right?
Well, it's not a woman, as you know. It was born a man, it's a man. Always a man, even when it gets...
Yeah, but I don't understand the point you're trying to make.
Well, I agree with you. It's just that the people like that, it shouldn't be allowed. We shouldn't talk about it, basically.
I don't mind talking about it as long as people don't mind if I disagree about it. I don't disagree about the fact that some people wish to change sex. That's something that is been going on for years and years and years. But